Hello everyone, welcome to today's masterclass Beyond the Hype, AI, Data, Efficiency and Employment, Keys to Sustainable Transformation. Thank you for joining us. Due to an unexpected health issue, our speaker, Carlos Solana, will not be presenting live. Instead, you will be watching a pre-recorded version of the masterclass so you can still benefit from his valuable insights. During the session, we will learn how artificial intelligence is transforming key industries, and you will discover a simple, practical framework to navigate the AI era. We will cover both the opportunities and the challenges organizations face to stay relevant. My name is Thaisa Figueroa. I'm Institutional Relations and Product Owner here at Ziggurat, and I'm thrilled to be your host today. And if you are new to Ziggurat, here's a quickly introduction. We are online education institution with over 20 years of experience in e-learning. Our programs cover technology management, architecture, and engineering, helping professionals worldwide boost their careers. We are proud of our global community, more than 20,000 students from over 120 countries. And at Ziggurat, we believe in unlimited possibilities, unlimited knowledge, unlimited future, unlimited success, unlimited leadership, and unlimited imagination. And that spirit of limitless growth starts right here with all of you. Today's session is closely linked to our MBA in Digital Transformation with AI. To explain why this program can be a great choice for your career, let me introduce Manuela Barbero, International Admission Team Manager at Ziggurat. Manuela, thank you, and the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Taisha. Good afternoon, everyone, or good evening, everyone, depends where you're based. Today we talk about the Master MBA. If you go in the next slide, so the first one, a brief introduction of the Master, that is, this MBA is where innovation meets implementation. It's just one academic year, fully online and in English. Participants earn a double degree from the University of Barcelona and Ziggurat Institute of Technology. The program equips professionals to leverage AI and digital transformation just to reshape the business, the career, and mindset. It's more than a master. It's a journey of self-discovery and growth. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, here we have the roadmap that outlines the fully learning journey of the MBA. We begin with a welcome block where students get access to resources and take part in the Boost Your Potential work, focus on personal and professional growth. In the first block, participants build their digital foundation, learning how to disrupt the status quo and apply innovative strategies to promote growth. Second block is about deploying a holistic digital transformation strategy covering cybersecurity, IT governance, operation, customer engagement, and financial management. We jump in the third block and dive into the future, where we prepare students for what is ahead. So managing people and teams, driving change, understand emerging trends like quantum computing, sustainable technology. But I arrive in the last block. The first one bring everything together with the master final project, where students apply the learning to a real company challenge. This project runs through the program and serve all the capstone of the MBA. So the journey moves step by step from foundation to strategy to future vision and ends with practical application in the real world. If you go in the next slide. Okay, so here we have the learning outcomes. So briefly, this program is designed to give participants both strategic vision and hands-on skill. You will boost personal branding and soft skills, while also learning how to design sustainable business models that improve customer experiences and generate growth. A key part is building is a global network of industry leaders, so gaining insight and opportunity that go behind the classroom. You also adopt a cross-sector approach to digital transformation, learning tools that qualify you as a wide range of roles, from consulting to management. And most important, you will apply everything in practice by developing a real digital transformation project for a company or of your choice, which become your master final thesis. If you go in the next slide. Okay, so the career opportunities, or after the MBA, 68 of our alumni achieve a salary increase within a year, and over the 80% improve the performance in current roles. Many move into leadership positions such as CDO, CIO, CEO, or digital transformation consultant, and show here in the graphic, graduates are driving the digital adoption, change management, and digital leadership across industry. So this is just a brief presentation of the master, but if you need additional information, please scan the QR code here, filling out the form, and with pleasure, we'll provide you with all the additional information. There are me and my team that we are really keen to provide you all the information about the master. So thank you very much. And now I will give again the word to Taisha.
Thank you so much, Manuela. And now I'm pleased to introduce our speaker for today, Carlos Solana, who is Innovation Technology Transfer Director at Media Pro and the actual Master's Director of the MBA in Digital Transformation with AI here at Ziggurat. Carlos, welcome. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure to have you with us. And the floor is all yours now. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Taisa, and thank you very much, Manuela. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone who is attending this webinar. I'm already sharing screen, yeah. We are going to share some time together today, trying to go beyond the hype of AI, and we are going to cover these 4 areas. First of all, I'm going to introduce myself with a bit more of detail, and then we are going to cover these 4 blocks of information related with energy, with efficiency, related with data, and related with labor and talent. Okay, so there we go. First of all, this is me, as Isa explained before. I'm very pleased, and it's a real privilege for me being the director of the MBA in Digital Transformation with AI in Ziggurat. It's a fantastic opportunity, both for me and for you, I'm sure of that, to be able to deal with all the things that are happening at this very moment. This is something really fantastic. So many things happening in technology, in business, and we are being there just to understand what's happening and to share with you what's happening and to improve your careers and to be able to help you in improving your careers and your jobs, in your companies, in your organizations. Okay, so I don't want to spend a lot of time here. You can see more or less who I am. Yeah, I'm going for the content of this webinar. First of all, we are going to talk about energy because there are happening a lot of discussions, a lot of people talking about the amount of energy that AI is going to consume. There are some apocalyptic sayings out there saying that it's going to be a lot and a lot and a lot of energy, and 100% of energy from the world is going to be dedicated to AI. And I don't want to give you more information. The first thing that I want you to do is that you answer yourself, what percentage of global energy consumption do you think that will be attributed to AI, let's say in 5 years, in 2030, if the current trends continue the same as they are now? There are these 6 options, and my proposal for you is that you respond yourself, that take notes of these questions, and then after you check the real answer with all the data that I'm going to provide you with. You also share this question with your colleagues, with your relatives, with people that are interested in these kind of things, so that you can also check the amount of people that are, I don't know, betting for 50% or for 12% or for 24 or whatever, so that you can see if you were alone in your best estimation or not, and if you were right or not from the very beginning. Okay, so these are the 6 options. Choose yours. And now we are going to see information to discover what's reality, what's going to be reality, our best forecast. First of all, we are going to see some data. It's like 6-7 months old. That's the reason that is related to GPT-4. But for the purpose that we have here is more than enough. What we are doing here is comparing everyday electricity usage with daily tasks that you are doing in your home, in your office, wherever, and comparing that with the typical ChatGPT use that you make. So there are 3 types of ChatGPT's queries here. You can see the top one, that is 0.3 watt-hours, is related with the typical ChatGPT. It's under 100 words. So this is a very short query that you are making, a very, very short prompt that you are making in ChatGPT. And this means that it's like 1/3 of running this 10 watts light bulb for 5 minutes. So it would be like running a light bulb for less than 2 minutes. No, not much. Or maybe yes, I don't know, depending on your opinion. If you compare that with using a laptop for 5 minutes, this is going to be like 1/7 of that. If you compare the long input query, that means that we are introducing a query with 7,500 words. That's a long query, I tell you. You are providing with a lot of context to ChatGPT. Then the comparison is like 1/3 of microwaving for 30 seconds. So, well, it's quite an amount of energy, but every day we are microwaving for how many seconds, each of us? How many queries are we doing in ChatGPT? But yeah, it's not a big amount of energy. And if you go to the maximum input query, we mean that's a query of a context, a very long context of 75,000 words. And I tell you, for your context, 75,000 words is an average novel. For example, The Great Gatsby is 45,000 words. So it's like twice The Great Gatsby context. And with that amount of context, the energy or electricity use that you are consuming is like twice the average US household consumption per minute. So yes, it's a big amount of energy, but take into account the huge amount of information that you are introducing in ChatGPT. Okay, so this is an introduction for you to understand, well, more or less the amount of energy that you are using by yourself. And when you are using ChatGPT, we will see that you have to use it with responsibility. But yeah, here you have the data. Then what I did was go into the International Energy Agency, because they have a lot of data about a lot of things related with energy consumption. In this case, I went to study focusing data center electricity consumption, and they were making scenarios analysis. They were making a scenarios analysis, and they were projecting for 2030 what's going to happen. You can see the evolution here in terawatts consumption for the whole world, and these are the main regions. As you can see, United States, China, and Europe are the main players in this electricity consumption related with data centers. And yes, you can see that China and United States are the main characters in this film. And we will see the evolution. I don't want to get into many details here because the information is not so clear, but you can see that it's more or less going to be double in 5 years. Okay, so second, the increase in electricity is corresponding to the demand from which kind of sectors? And you can see that here the data centers that are related with AI are the 5th, let's say, sector, in consumption of electricity, but it's not the main one. So the main one is the industry, and we are excluding heavy industry here, but electric transport, appliances, and space cooling. And you have also big players there, like space and water heating, heavy industry, and other kind of industry. Okay, so you can see that it's a big actor in this electricity demand increase, but it's not the main one, okay, in this period of time. Then we have another relevant thing. This is not so much related with consumption, but for you to understand that in the left, you can see the server stock. So the amount of servers that are like conventional servers or accelerated servers. Accelerated servers are the ones that are being used for processing, for computing AI. So you can see that the amount of accelerated servers in the total number is less than 5% today, but you can see that the server capacity is 1/3 more or less today. And if we project that to 2030, it's going to be like less than 10%, like 7 point something percent, and it's going to be like half of the server capacity. So that you can imagine the power of this kind of new accelerated servers that are the ones that are being connected with the AI computing, okay? So if you imagine a data center and you have to calculate the amount of electricity consumption that is being made in these data centers, you can see that the main amount in general, in all kind of data centers, more than 60% is related with the servers, you know, the blue light color. And if you go specifically to the hyperscale, that are the kind of servers that are connecting with AI, you can see that the consumption related with the servers is like almost 80%. So you can see that the intensity of consumption of electricity in this kind of AI dedicated service is so much higher. Okay, and there are other consumptions like storage, network cooling, all these kind of things that are like secondary. Okay, and now we go to the final graph. The final graph is putting here the different scenarios. We have here the base case scenario that is projecting even longer than 2030, is going up to 2035, and is projecting the evolution of electricity consumption related with data center. You can see that if we are starting here, we are here, of course, but if we are starting here, it's going to be like 3 times the amount of electricity consumption if we go in the base case scenario. If we go to the more pessimistic scenario left off, it's like 4 times, 5 times, 4 times, I would say. And if you are more optimistic, we will see now, because of efficiency, etc., it goes like 15, 20% lower than the base case scenario. Okay, so these are the amounts. And now we go for the conclusions. Today, meaning today, 2024, the data centers consumption is like 1.5% of global electricity consumption. Okay, so this is not the answer to the question of the beginning, because this is the picture that we are making nowadays. Okay, so today is 1.5. Let's say that in 2025 is 1.6%. Okay, but now it comes the answer. Okay, by 2030, this consumption is projected in the base case to be under 3%. So from the 6 answers that we have, congratulations if you were considering 3%, because there is a lot of noise out there. People are saying that it's going to be over 50% and blah, blah, blah. But reality and data from a public opinion leader of this, like International Energy Agency, is saying that it's going to be around 3% in the base case scenario. And if you consider the main players here is China and the US, they are going to account for nearly 80% of the growth of this electricity consumption in this period of time until 2030. So if we are considering and that connects with the rest of the sectors that are growing the electricity consumption. If we account for this demand growth that is connecting with AI, only 10% of that increase in global electricity consumption is connecting with AI and data centers. So between 2024 and 2030, this is going to be, strictly connected with AI, 10% of the increase in demand. If we go to the left of case, this is connecting with a 40% stronger adoption of AI than in the base case. Then we go for a 4.4% of global electricity. So you can see that it's like 50% more, but going up to 2035. We are comparing 2030 with 2035. So yeah, it's a big number because 1.5% of the global electricity demand is a big number. It's like Japan, more or less, consumption, but yeah, it's not double or triple the base case. And if we go for efficiency, if we are able to develop software, hardware, and infrastructure that are able to save energy and to have savings of more than 15%, we are going to be able to keep under 3% that global electricity demand by 2035. So it's even possible that we are able to reach this 2.6% of global electricity demand by 2035, not 2030, but 2035. Okay, so my final conclusions here. First, you have to be responsible when using AI. If you don't need to use a very, very long context, don't upload that long context. If you have a simple question, make a simple question. If you have to calculate something that can be calculated with a calculator, use your calculator. LLMs are not thought to do some kind of things that are very easy to do with a computer or whatever, but use them responsible. And on the other hand, you don't have to fall into this the extremist position. No, you don't have to be a Luddite alarmism, but you don't have to fall in this kind of blindness due to the technological hype of the AI. You have to be just in the middle, conscious of the powerful capabilities that AI is going to provide you, but at the same time being responsible and making good use of it. Okay, so this is the end of the first section out of 4. And we go for the second that has to do with efficiency. And I'm sure that if you are using AI, sometimes you have a problem in mind. This image in your mind, you imagine what's going to happen, you want to reflect a video like this, and you are going to generate with the help of LLMs one of these videos, and then you work hard on your prompt, and what you get is something like this. Yes, sometimes efficiency is not what you get when you are working with AI, okay? So it's not so easy. Being able to get efficiency from AI is something complicated, and we are going to cover that. And what part of the hype is also influencing the images in our minds, connecting with, we are going to win, I don't know, 70% efficiency in every kind of task. Well, here we go. First of all, I invite you to have this conversation with your friends, relatives, and colleagues. How many of you are using AI assistants in software development or in other kind of task in your work? Okay, have this conversation. I don't mean that you have to feel like happy without using it, but maybe that way you can understand how the people are using it, what kind of things they are doing, and maybe not many people are doing too complicated things. They are starting the usage. We are in the very first moments of adoption of this technology, so take your time, talk to your friends, and check if you are. Of course, if you are not using anything, please go ahead because you have to do it, but go little by little and talk together with your colleagues, okay? Is AI adoption for increasing efficiency a hype or a reality? And if you consider these guys who are leaders in the technological industry, Sander Pichai is saying that a quarter of all new code in Google is being generated by AI. Satya Nadella from Microsoft is saying that 20-30% of the code is written by AI. Jensen Huang is from NVIDIA saying that everyone is a programmer now. You don't need to know programming. You can program with this vibe coding, etc. And from Figma, Dylan Field is also exploring that possibility of drafting everything from your mind to an MVP very quickly, because that's Figma. And Mark Zuckerberg also, no, they are going to be, he says, is in 2025 able to develop a kind of synthetic developer with AI, and an average developer with AI. Yes, so yeah, these are their opinions, but yes, take something into account that these guys are making money with AI. It's their business. So yes, you have to adopt AI, but take into account that every single data that they are showing to the world is because they are trying you to convince you to adopt it and to invest in AI, because they are the ones that are monetizing mainly this. So yes, it's a technology that you should be understanding and exploring and adopting, but don't believe everything that they are saying. It's not so easy. It's going to take your time. It's going to take some good resources that you have to invest, and don't take it for granted that you are going to get ROI on that. Okay. And here I want to explain to you the AI agent paradox, because it's true. You can get a prototype, you can see here, with a 70% accuracy. You have an idea, and without even knowing how to code, you create a 3-people team, and you are able to create a prototype in 1 day, 2 days. And here you have it. And you are able to test an idea. You are able to demonstrate that something makes sense from a business point of view. And that's it. But it's not going to be so easy to increase accuracy. That is the main thing here, from this 70% to 99%. You can develop this AI agent in beta, and it's going to be like 90-95%, and it's going to take a lot of effort. And if you're going to go to a fully productive agent, you have to invest a lot of resources then to be able to reach that accuracy. It's not going to be by coding and just 3 people having coffee when, at the same time that they are developing with AI. No, it's going to be expert developers with a lot of experience. And yes, AI is going to be a support for them, but it's not going to be the only thing that they are going to use. And if you are able to do that, jumping from that 70% to 99% is going to mean dealing with a lot of things that are already with, as you can see here, hallucinations, debugging, MCP integration, and being able to have your API controls that it doesn't charge you $100 a minute, that you are using the amount of memory that you are able to deal with. And even after having that under control, you then have to convince your CFO, and you have to convince your legal team, and you have to convince cybersecurity. So this is not so easy. Recently, there was a report from the MIT that was very, very controversial. They were saying that 95% of let's say, initiatives related with AI were a failure. Well, it has been, as I tell you, a lot of controversy with this. I didn't want to focus on this report, but I got one from McKinsey, and it was from June. It was like 3 months ago, this year, 2025, where they were having some conclusions related with GenAI and agentic AI. From different interviews and projects that they have been participating and talking to companies. So the first thing, they were dividing the kind of use cases in 2. The first one is what they call horizontal use cases, and I'm sure that you have tested this. It has to do with 365 Copilot, with Google Workspace AI, Gemini, and with ChatGPT, with this kind of LLMs that you are using to increase your efficiency as an employee, and it means that if you go to a meeting, you can get the minutes made automatically, you can take notes automatically, it can write emails for you, it can automate some simple task, and in fact, yes, it helps you and it saves you time. But what they say is that it's not so easy to understand what amount of money, what amount of return is being made by these horizontal use cases that go to the bottom line of the company results, okay? And the second kind of use cases are what they call vertical use cases. These vertical use cases, what they were saying is that 8 in 10 companies that have deployed this Gen AI have reported that fewer than 10% of these use cases, these vertical use cases, have paid off and have had return on the results. I don't know if this is exactly 10% or it's going to be 20%. I don't care about that. What I care about is that it's not so easy. And you have to test. And maybe you are starting 10 projects and finally it's like innovation. You are going to be successful only in 1 or even 2 if you are very lucky, but it's not going to be a 10 out of 10. And even more taking into account that this technology is very young and we are learning how to use it in the organization. So it's a difficult thing and you have to get more and more experience, and maybe in the future you are going to be able to get it successfully in 40% out of the 10 pilots that you are initiating. But this is what McKinsey is saying, and I believe them. And maybe it's also controversial, similar, a little bit higher, more optimistic than the MIT, but it's like that. It's difficult to be successful in this kind of initiatives. Then I have 2 examples also from this study. You can see in the left, there was an example from a retail bank process. This relationship manager is dealing in the beginning, before AI, manually with all the different steps of the process of the work. And then when they integrate agents, these agents performs these steps independently and the human is reviewing the task, okay? That way, what they say is that they have this 20-60% increase in productivity and yeah, some benefits. But you can see here that before, and we go to the right, the first step is like we introduce some kind of Gen AI tools so that they support the human and the work. Okay, and then what we do is that we substitute the work of the human doing this kind of task, and we put the human to review what the agents are doing. Okay, and it's a very different approach. One has to do with increasing efficiency of a human doing different tasks, and the other is putting an agent to do those tasks, always that's possible, and having the human for a kind of director role, governing and controlling that everything is going fine. Okay, but it's a total different approach. And this is what comes next. You have here the first approach, Gen AI enabled. This is a 5-10% reduction in resolution time because this is a human that is being assisted by Gen AI tools. The second step has to do with kind of tasks, the tasks that are in the present workflows, the current workflows. You introduce the Gen AI, and then finally, when you are able to understand how it works, then you redesign all the process and even change the order of the task, and you are able to increase so much more. The average reduction in resolution time goes from 60 to 90%. You can see, so you have to rethink all the process in your company. You have to restart it again, to restart the processes because you are introducing this Gen AI. More conclusions, and this is the main one from the study. The main challenge won't be technical, it will be human. You have to deal with humans doing these kind of things. You don't have to get rid of the humans of the equation. You have to integrate the humans in this equation, but we have to do different things that we used to. Then there is a big challenge that has to do with how humans and agents cohabit. in these day-to-day workflows. They are going to be new, but the roles are going to be changing, and you have to assume as a human a new way of working, because there's going to be something new that is called AI agent that is going to do some task for you, even independently from you. The next thing has to do with governance, because you are providing these agents with autonomous capabilities, so they are going to be able to act by themselves, but you have to keep governance of that. And the final conclusion, and you have to prevent this unchecked sprawl of these agents, because everyone in the future is going to be able to create and to put to work this kind of agents. You have to have a very, very intelligent and well thought structure to make that all of this is happening under the kind of instructions and policies that you want it to work. Very quickly, two interesting approaches to the use of AI in developing. And first, vibe coding. Vibe coding means that you are able to use it for quick prototyping. You are going to be able to create an MVP, for example, to test that an idea makes sense and that fits with a need in the market, for example, or fits with a need in the internal organization. And second, you have expert developers, and you are able to provide them with this AI supporting software or these AI supporting tools for them to be even more effective, even more efficient. So these are some examples of prototyping. You can create these small teams, and usually there are different types. The first one has to do with more marketing oriented. The second one has to do more with data and workflows. And the third one has to do with content creation, for example. And then you can see that there are three members are focused, one in problem definition, understanding the consumer, understanding the client. Second, the solution, how are you going to design the solution, design the experience that the user is going to have to solve the problem. And finally, the technical one that is going to focus on execution, because this has to be developed. So yeah, these small teams are starting to be very, very popular in this vibe coding way of dealing with. Here, to finish this second block, final McKinsey conclusion, the main challenge won't be technical, it will be human. So my recommendation, talk and listen to your development teams. We go to the third block, data. You know this Pink Floyd album, Dark Side of the Moon, the fourth most sold album in history. I love it. And the same that the moon has a dark side that you can see, is this data side of this AI, because everybody is talking about AI, but we need data. AI needs data. Without data, there is no AI. And I think that it makes sense that we focus in this third block on data, because it's so relevant. And there are two parts in this problem. The first one has to do with data scarcity. The second one has to do with data management. Let's go for data scarcity. First, almost 100% of the public quality data is already integrated into LLMs. You know that the trainings of these LLMs have been so intense, so much information of humanity has been condensed and integrated in these LLMs. So only private personal consumer data is left. So if you want to make these LLMs even more powerful, you have to integrate private personal consumer data. So your data, the data of the final consumers. But privacy regulations in the European Union, for example, are pushing very, very hard the big techs towards these cookieless solutions to preserve privacy, to defend the final users from this kind of illegal use of their personal data, etc., etc. So that means that there is going to be this increasing cost and competition for capturing data, for capturing your data. And these technological giants are trying to find new disruptive ways to convince us that we must donate our data, or that even that we can provide them with our data, even paying. There are some startups that are exploring this possibility of providing or the users getting paid for their personal data. I don't know if you know these two people. The guy in the left is Johnny Ive. He was a designer in Apple. And the woman on the right is Lauren Powell. Yes, she's the wife of Steve Jobs. They were saying very recently that the world deserves, humanity deserves a better approach from technology, because they were planning to connect the same way that Steve Jobs connected with Johnny Ive to design all the Apple ecosystem. Johnny Ive is going to connect with OpenAI, has connected in fact with OpenAI to redesign the hardware that is going to be connected with OpenAI. The next slide, this image is not the official image. It's an MVP kind of proposal, or it could be by this user, this designer, Ben Geskin, or how it could be. And what AI is planning to do is developing this kind of device that you are going to bring with yourself. And imagine you are going to be with this like a collar or whatever, and you are going to be listening. It's going to be listening, understanding, looking at, processing all the data that goes beyond, that goes below you, that goes in front of you. So all your personal data is going to be inside of this device and is going to be immediately connected to the AI ecosystem of OpenAI. That connects with my previous slides. They are trying to get your personal data because the only valuable data left that they need to increase even more the power of these LLMs. So this is what is happening. This is what is going to be happening. It's a fight again for the data. The data is so relevant. Your personal data is so relevant. We go to the second part of the problem, the data management. In the future, in fact, nowadays, LLMs and these agentic AIs are commodities. If you are a company, if you are a user, you have it available. You can use them. You can use it, I can use it, anyone can use it. So this is not going to make the difference. What is going to make the difference and the competitive advantages are going to be these three factors. First, if you as a company have access to these customers' quality data, that's the first thing. The second thing, if your management and your company and the mindset of your organization has this kind of openness and readiness to evolve with this new way of doing things, with this new way of operating with AI. And third, if your organization is able to implement all the changes needed in the needed speed and expertise. So if you are in a company, I propose that you make these questions for you and your company. First, are you investing in capturing and integrating your customer data in your products, in your databases, in everything that you are doing? Second, your top management is aware of the changes that are coming and the changes that you have to do as an organization. Third, do you have in your company the talent that is going to be able to implement all these quickly and with quality to be able to compete and to be distinctive versus your competitors? Because yes, as you can see, a bit of humor. You always think on AI agents and AI and generative AI as the heaven, but then you have to deal with the hell of data. You have to do your homework. You have to prepare yourself with data and do your organize everything and invest in resources and talent there to be able to have good results in AI. Finally, work, talent, because there are a lot of conversations out there also, how many people are going to be unemployed because of AI? I am going to lose my work or not? Is my work going to change a lot or not? I want you to watch the next commercial.
Indiana gonna win, baby!
We're in Florida asking people what they put their money on! I'm all in on OKC!
Indiana got that dog in them!
Will egg prices go up this month?
I think we'll hit $20. How many hurricanes do you think we'll have this year?
Kalshi lets you legally trade on anything, anywhere in the U.S.
OKC!
Indy! OKC!
Yeah, Kalshi is like a betting company, so that you can bet that this is going to happen, this or that, and yeah, it's like that. So my question here, and I want you also to write down your bet, is how many people were in the company creating this commercial? And I remind you that is connecting with the NBA finals this year. So it's a relevant commercial, I mean, so 1 person, 9 people, 32 people, 250 people. Okay, do your best bet and take note of it. And then how much did it cost to produce the ad? $2,000, $32,000, $161,750,000. Okay, do your bet, and now I'm going to give you the answer. Yes, only 1 person, only $2,000. I tell you, I've been working in commercials and advertising in marketing many years, and this is crazy. And this is because of AI. So a full industry of content creation related with ads is changing as much as you can see. This could have been 750,000 and 200 people working on this perfectly 10 years ago. Above all, if we are considering that these are the finals of the NBA, yeah? It's like the Super Bowl or NBA, these kind of productions, I mean. So taking that into account, my next question, what global unemployment rate do you foresee by 2033 because of AI? And you have these 4 options. From the most optimistic, between 5 and 10%, up to the most pessimistic, 25–40% of unemployment. As an starting data, you can read here that the International Labour Organization estimates unemployment nowadays on 5%. Okay, so if you have your bet, we go for the data. Let's go for a very pessimistic option. Let's go for the 25–40%. Let's imagine that this is going to happen. Okay, I made some numbers, and you can see here 12%. This is the probability of this scenario. The scenario of between 25 and 40% unemployment has a probability of happening of 12%. This is not the main probability, I tell you. So this is like a tail risk scenario. This is not the most probable scenario, but it's something that could happen. If that happens, this is going to be like that in the different areas. United States, like 10% unemployment. European Union, 15% unemployment. And this is quite a lot. It's like twice the amount of unemployment we have today. China, 8%. BRICS, except in China, 20%. And Japan and Korea, 5%. There are many reasons that amplify or decrease this level of unemployment, but these are the big numbers that we have. So if this is not the most probable scenario, which is the most probable unemployment rate for 2033? There is a 50–60% probability that these are the scenarios that we are going to have. Okay, and you can see the amount of people that are going to be unemployed is like this in the different areas. Okay, 6% in the United States, European Union 8%, 5% in China, 10–11% in BRICS, except in China, and 4% in Japan and Korea. Okay, we are not going to get into detail because we are a bit late, yeah, so is not so pessimistic as you could see. In fact, the first answer was the right one, so it's going to be around 10% in the scenarios, and you can see here that is not that I'm inventing the data. It's from the International Monetary Fund, it's from the OECD, it's from the International Labour Organization, and from the World Bank. So it's data from very empiric based organizations. So we can rest assured that it's not going to be so hard as maybe someone out there is telling you. Yeah, so it doesn't look like unemployment is going to kill us because of AI yet, at least until 2033. And finally, just a bit of humor to finish the session.
Can AI do my laundry? No. Can it clean my house? No. But it can recommend you a TV show you might like. Can it do my taxes? No. But it can write you a birthday card for when you can't think of anything to say. Can it cook? No. But it can make you a painting of anything in any style you want. Oh, I like painting. Yeah, so AI does it for you. But I like painting. Right, but this will paint it for you. Can it kill mosquitoes? So I think what you're talking about are robots. They're like AI, but with mechanical bodies. Can robots kill mosquitoes? No, but they can dance. If they can dance, can they fold my laundry? No, but they are capable of karate. Why do we have them? Have what? AI. To make life easier. But it doesn't solve the things that make life hard. And once it does, it solves all the hard stuff and the easy stuff. What do we do all day?
I don't know, as the character says. Well, there are plenty of things that are going to happen in the coming months, years, and I think it's going to be fascinating. We are going to cover many of them in the master. We are going to share these kind of ideas with you if you share this time with us. So thank you very much for your attention today, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.
Great. Thank you so much, Carlos. Really interesting. Really beyond the hype. Let me get back again my screen just to comment some things. Even though the session is pre-recorded, your questions are very welcome. So please send them to the email displayed on the screen, and Carlos and our team will super happy to answer them. And Carlos, I would ask you, we don't have the question moment here, but I would ask you if you want to leave a message to everyone that will see this recording. Leave a message to our audience, and then we finish.
Yeah, my message is that out there are a lot of people that are saying, well, hard things about AI, and in fact, it's going to be a challenge to deal with it. It's going to be something so new, so different. But the way to deal with it is not being frightened of what's going to come. Is having information, learning, be prepared for it, and be the ones that know how things are working. Yeah, learning. That's always the answer. Not believing in things that are based in maybe some tales. But yeah, my recommendation is that you learn, that you prepare yourself, that you be ready to get part of it and not to be got a part of it.
Great, that's perfect, Carlos. So a huge thank you to you, Carlos, for your super valuable insights in this session. Thank you so much. And thank you all for joining us. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and take care. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.